Hey everyone, today I wanted to come to you and share with you a big piece of information that has helped me in my grief journey. And that is tying things that trigger you to go in a downward spiral into something that's positive. So, for instance, when I first lost Alec and Lydia, I would open my pantry door and close it right away because everything in that pantry was tied to a sad memory, meaning my kids used to love that food and they're not here anymore so they can't eat it. And I used to have that with Alec on his birthday, or Alec used to like corned beef hash and I used to make it for him in the morning, or Lydia used to eat those popsicles every summer. So everything was tied, yes, to the kids, but also in my brain, I was taking that memory that was supposed to be positive and warping it into negative because they weren't here and I was just so devastated and sad. And it is totally fine to be devastated and sad in your grief journey, and that is a part of grief. But I want you to also take away something from this video that might be able to help you in the future by tying that sad memory into something that's able to be happy and for you to be able to smile about. And that's where I am in my grief journey. And it is very hard every single day, but I'm choosing to look at the positives because through therapy and through my grief groups, I've learned that staying in that woe is me negative mindset for me is difficult, and it only makes me spiral and makes me really sad. And I, as a person, am just a happy outlook type of person anyways, so it's really hard for me to stay in that type of mindset because it really affects me. So anyways, I'm going to show you some things that Alec and Lydia really liked and show you how I've turned the things that used to make me sad about them not being here into happy things. So the first one is Swedish fish. My kids loved Swedish fish, anything that was like gooey and gummy. They loved Haribo gummies, anything like this. And so now I turn this into a positive because I know that they used to eat this and they used to love it. And I have this in my pantry, not because I eat it, but because my niece and nephews eat it now. And there's a lot of conversations that come up, and happy ones, because my nephews will ask, oh, Alec and Lydia like this candy, and I'll share a story about it. And so it's really helpful for me to keep their memory alive by sharing stories and keeping stuff like this that they like in the house, but also reminds us of Alec and Lydia is helpful. This one is elbow macaroni, and you're probably thinking, why do you have elbow macaroni? Why did they like it? Well, Alec and Lydia loved my macaroni and cheese in the Instapot, and so I love having this around because I still make it for myself, and my niece and nephews like it as well. So that is why I think of them when I eat elbow macaroni. The next one is any type of chips, but they loved Doritos Cool Ranch. And I have to tell you a funny story about this. So any type of chip I always had to hide from Alec and Lydia because they would just eat the whole bag. And when I got my new house in Arizona, when we separated, Alec would always sneak bags of chips in his bedroom, and he would always lay on his bed and watch his tablet and eat his chips. Well, literally, I would go and touck him in at night, and there'd be crumbs all over his bed, and I go like this with his blanket, and a whole bunch of crumbs would fly up. So I had to make a rule in place that he didn't eat chips in his bedroom anymore, and I really tried to stick to it, but he still would sneak. And at the time, it would make me so upset because I'm trying to, again, have a rule put in place, but he was mischievous and wouldn't listen, which now like that's a memory that I have that's tied to him, and I think of it in a positive way, right? When our kids misbehave and stuff, in the moment we're upset at them because we're trying to parent them. But think about it from my perspective. If they're no longer here, that memory that I was so frustrated about in the time is now a good memory, and it's funny because I'm not frustrated about it anymore. I could care less if there was crumbs in his bed, because now in my brain it's a happy memory because he's no longer here, and that's something that I can smile about because he used to put crumbs in his bed, and when I used to go like that, all the crumbs would fly everywhere. So the next one is cereal of any kind, but my kids really liked Lucky Charms, and they liked Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And so it was so funny because when they would eat these cereals, specifically like Lucky Charms or Oops All Berries, which was Lydia's favorite, Captain Crunch Oops All Berries, I would always have to tell them that they would have to make sure that they don't freak out when they went to the bathroom because it would turn their poop different colors. And I remember many times Lydia would be like, Mom, and I'd have to like go in the bathroom and be like, no, Lydia, it's okay that you have green poop. It's just because you ate Oops All Berries and there's a whole bunch of dye. And I know you guys could have totally different opinions on this than me, but again, I was doing what I wanted to do as a parent to parent my children, and now I have great memories with that, tied to that. So I'm not ashamed of that. I don't care, and I couldn't care less that I feed my kids Oops All Berries and you don't. That's just something that like I've come to understand. Like, we're not all going to agree. But these are things that I can look back on and smile about now and have really fun memories, because these are things that my kids love to eat. And now I'm able to eat these things and think positively because I've turned those sad triggers into happy moments, into happy memories. So I hope this helps you. And remember, always be kind and abound in hope. See you later.